Hey guys, Eric with Blue Line Fishing. Welcome back to the channel. Your time is important to me as always, and what we're going to do in today's time is, as promised, I'm going to do a follow-up on this KastKing Centron Lite baitcaster reel. I've been using it for about a year now, and we're going to see what the on-the-water performance was like. Stick with me and we'll jump into it. So let's jump into this. So like I said in the intro, I've been using this reel for about a year now. Anytime I get a chance to come back and give on-the-water feedback for any kind of review I've done, whether it be a rod, a reel, lures, you name it, do a lot of reviews here on the channel. I like to do that. And like I said, I've been using this about a year now, so I feel like I can really give you guys my full thoughts on how it did. So in the original video, and if you haven't watched that, I'll leave a link to it down in the description. I rigged this up with 12-pound P-line copolymer line. I like that line, but I switched over and started using 12-pound Sunline Sniper fluorocarbon. And as far as the rod it's been on, I originally had it on this Proficiency rod here. It's a heavy rod, but it fishes honestly more like a medium heavy rod. But anyway, I had it on this 7'6" Proficiency rod. I tried it on a couple other rods, but I really like it on this particular one. It's done really well for me. So meat and potatoes of it, how did it perform as far as fish catching? Well, I can tell you this, I've got a ton of hours on this reel, thousands of casts on it, and I caught a ton of fish on it, and I caught some big fish, some nice fish, at least what I consider big fish here where I'm at in southern Indiana, 4, 5, 6 pound plus fish. And I'll actually show you some footage here. In this footage, throwing a chatterbait, throwing it into some timber, so it's an area that when I hook a fish, I want to be able to get it out of that timber and away from that cover quickly. And as you can see in this footage here, I'm able to do that. I mean, obviously the rod plays into that, but the reel, what I don't want the reel to do is slip any. I usually tighten my star drag all the way down. I just like to play the fish with my thumb instead of the drag. I did that in this case, and this reel easily handled that fish. And I've caught a number of other big fish on it this past year. It didn't have any slippage with the drag, didn't have any kind of issues mechanically or otherwise. So like I said, I've got a lot of hours on this reel. I mean, enough that you can see right up in here where it normally says Centron Lite, it's worn off from my thumb resting on it as I cast and use the reel. I mean, all it's done is worn the ink off the print, not the paint itself. But I have put a lot of hours on this reel. So like I said before, I haven't had any issues with it. One of the things I stated in the original video I always look at in any reel is the anti-reverse and how important it is to me. I'll pay a little line out here, and then one thing you might have in reels after using it for a while is that anti-reverse starts to fail, or it starts to loosen up. In other words, I don't want any back play in the handle when I stop the handle. And after using this for as long as I have, you can see when I stop the reel, there's still no back play whatsoever in the reel. And that's important to me because I don't want any kind of give in it where it's going to cost me hook sets and in turn cost me fish. So it's really held up well on that account. So with other aspects of the reel, we talked about the anti-reverse is held up well. Is it still a smooth reel? And it's a really smooth reel, especially at this price point. This particular reel is $30. I looked at it on Amazon and it's $32 and some change right now. And I think there's a 5% off coupon, so you can get it for about $30.77, I think is what it was. Probably a little more in some areas, maybe a little less in others, but anyway, it's still that same price point, around $30. But other aspects of the reel, for example, the thumb bar still engages smoothly, disengages when you want it to as far as the casting smoothly, no issues with that. The magnetic cast control, really easy to hone it in on that particular lure that you're using on the water, if you're switching from a lighter lure to a heavier lure and vice versa. And I have found this reel to be a great reel for power fishing. I always keep about 6 or 7 rods loaded up and ready to go with different types of setups. And the one I always keep on this is some type of power bait, whether it be a spinner bait, a chatterbait, a square bill crankbait, something like that. But this has become a regular rotation in the lineup of rods and reels that I always have, rigged up and ready to go. Normally I'll have a chatterbait on this or a spinner bait, something like that. And the footage I showed you caught that particular fish on a spinner, or no, not a spinner, I'm sorry, a chatterbait. And it's just been one of my favorites for using for power techniques. So if you're looking for a bait casting reel that has the torque and the power to get big fish at a heavy cover, this can do it. A reel that can fish all day as far as smoothness, castability, not having to fight and deal with backlashes all day. This reel is also super easy to set up. And over the years, I fished a ton of different reels, budget reels, high-end reels, everything in between. And no matter the price point, this reel is a winner. Like I say, it's really fun to use. And I'll probably end up picking up a couple more of these just to have in the arsenal too, because at this price point, really you can't beat it. So guys, I'll leave a link in the description down below for this reel. I'll say I have no affiliation from KastKing. I just really enjoy doing these different review videos and these follow-ups. If you got something out of today's video, please consider subscribing to the channel. Be sure to leave me a like and a comment down below because I always love hearing from you guys. Once again, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And remember, until that next video, get out there and fish.